All right, welcome to Grand Prix Anaheim. We're looking at some block constructed. My name is Marshall Sutcliffe, and I am joined in the booth with Nate Price. Hi, Nate.
What's up, y'all?
And looks like we're already underway here. A quick start. Geez, this thing is just off to the guns here.
Lucas Pastorini on your right side, playing a red, green, black mid-range deck, is showing that his mid-range deck has some aggressive tendencies as well, starting off with an Avacyn's Pilgrim right on into a Strangleroot, guys, and getting in for a quick 3 on the second turn.
And it looks like Christian Calcano just has the two colors that his deck represents here. And what is this last card that came down? A Falconwrath Aristocrat. Wow, this is a lot of haste.
We did want to see Falconwrath.
Christian is at 11. This is turn 3.
He has not played his third land yet.
This is a serious beatdown. Now it looks like we have a Desperate Ravings on Christian's side.
Getting into Thought Scour. Calcano's deck has the ability to come back from a lot of this, but there's some serious resilience on Pastorini's side. He's got a human in that Avacyn's Pilgrim also to make sure that his Aristocrat can stay indestructible should it need to, and then there's the Undying on his Strangleroot, guys. It's going to make it very difficult for Calcano to pull himself out of the situation. He does have Rolling Temblors, which can clear away the ground creatures. Flyers can be a little bit of a problem. But, I mean, ultimately, see, this Fetter, guys, provides a nice 3-4 method of standing in the way, although he's not going to be able to do much about that.
Yeah, now I want to note here, the Falconwrath Aristocrat, you can sack any creature to it to make it indestructible. So he has 3 activations sitting on the table.
Yeah.
If it happens to be a human, the Aristocrat's going to become get a +1/+1 counter as well.
Wow.
Looks like Lucas goes for the creatures behind lands approach here, which is, oh my
wow.
goodness, another Falconwrath Aristocrat comes down. Now that is not a legend, so he can just pile in as many of those as he can fit.
That is absolutely a beat-in.
Calcano's Fettergeist looks, normally it's a very imposing blocker on turn 3, but in this case it's just not. If Calcano blocks, he's going to read the Aristocrat. If he blocks an Aristocrat, he takes 4, 7, he takes 8 and goes to 3 damage. And looks like he's going to do that. Calcano's certainly comfortable with these colors. He, like you mentioned, he just won Grand Prix using a similar strategy, so it looks like he's tried to adapt the deck over for block here, which is something that I think is really cool.
Well, if he does, like, Pastorini will have the option to sacrifice his Strangleroot Geist in order to give it invulnerability or indestructibility. But if he does that, it doesn't get through for the damage.
It doesn't, but then it becomes a 3 power on the next swing, and
Right.
I think he just has to do that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You don't want to trade here.
Oh, looks like he does.
I guess he does. It feels like just keeping your board completely
I mean,
stocked.
but at this point, his Aristocrat is lethal. It's just straight lethal.
But he would have had a 3/2 and another Aristocrat as well.
Yeah. But he would have been, his opponent would have been 7. I guess, yeah.
It's probably not that relevant just given, but I mean, one of the things that I talk about on the podcast I do is we call it the nuts and bolts approach, right? It's like, even if it probably doesn't matter, you still make like the best decision possible.
Yeah.
And I don't like to second guess these guys too much. I like to try to speculate from where I'm sitting,
Yeah.
What might be going on. He might have had cards in hand that we didn't recognize or see that could have led to a better plan of just letting the trade happen.
Yes.
But, I mean, from where I'm sitting, I think I'd rather just use one activation and get that. My board is ridiculous at that point.
Yeah, and this is a format as well where unless your opponent has got planes in play, like if your Falconwrath Aristocrat is your way that you're going to be killing your opponent, you've got 2 creatures to sacrifice to make it invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no reason not to just commit to the board.
Sure.
Like, at that point, having more creatures on the table is good, right? Even a bonfire just means it gets rid of your 2 baby guys,
Yep.
ties up all of your opponent's mana, and then they die.
Yeah, yeah.
So this game went incredibly fast.
Man, Lucas's deck looks super aggressive. Is this a more aggressive build that we're seeing, or did he just have an aggressive draw?
This is a more aggressive build. The previous version that I saw in Barcelona wasn't running a full complement of 4 Aristocrats. I think that the performance of that card in Barcelona, and very in particular the extra work that it did in Yukihiro's Reanimator deck, like even just as a 4-powered hasty attacker, really brought it to a lot of people's.
Yeah, we saw it in Yasuoka's list as well, and it just did so much work for him.
It's very good. Ironically, this is one of those situations. He's also got 4 copies of Huntmaster of the Fells, and when you're running a Falconwrath Aristocrat, running a Huntmaster of the Fells, like, he loses a lot of the draw pad. Like, having that extra creature is really, really useful. This is definitely a more aggressive version of the deck. I really like the version that's running black as opposed to the version that's running white because of one card in particular, Sever the Bloodline.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say.
Which it looks...
Is he running it?
No, he's not running it. Main deck or sideboard even.
So what does his removal suite look like?
He's running a trio of Blasphemous Acts.
Okay, that's a big one.
Yep. He's running a pair of Bonfire of the Damned. He's running 3 Garrick, 3 Devil's Blade. He has a lot.
These are all kind of big removal spells. Is he running Pillar of Flame, let me see?
No Pillar of Flame.
This is an interesting build. It does feel like he might have had a fairly aggressive draw for his deck, because I'm seeing quite a few cards on this list that aren't particularly aggressive. Devil's Play, I don't think you would consider that. Garrick's not very aggressive.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What do you see?
I see things that start with a Z and end with steal your thing and kill you.
Yes.
Zealous Conscript, he's got 2 in the main.
I like this deck. This deck looks like it's really, really well built.
I don't know. Would you play this deck? I don't know. It's like turn some guys sideways, kill some stuff, yawn.
Well, true. I mean, it doesn't have the allure of an awesome miracle deck. But,
yeah, see?
But I mean, like, against the aggressive decks, you've got the cards like Huntmaster of the Fells.
Yep.
You've got the board sweepers.
Yep.
Like, you've got
he doesn't
real
have
way
his
to,
bases covered.
That's the thing. Like, he's got his bases covered. Like, against the mid-range decks, you've got the Zealous Conscripts. You've got the Falconwrath Aristocrats, which are going to push you over the top against them.
I think that's the best card in this deck.
Aristocrat?
I think. I mean, like,
Very
it seems
strongly.
like his win con. It's a great blocker. Like, it seems to do a lot of things for him.
Plus, him and Conscripts, they go out for drinks on the weekends, I've
Oh
heard.
my goodness, I didn't even think about that. That's kind of disgusting. So you conscript your guy, his thing, attack him with it, and then sack it anyway?
He even looks prepared in his sideboard, too. I mean, seeing the strength of Reanimator, he's got 4 copies of Grafdigger's Cage, which is about 3 more copies than we saw on most players' sideboards in Barcelona.
Yeah, people would throw one in as kind of like a well maybe thing.
Yeah, he's got a couple of Tree Redemptions, which help shore up that aggressive matchup.
It looks like Lucas is going to take a mulligan here.
Okay.
And it looks like Christian kept.
That is the one thing with this deck. The mana base is not amazing. Like, Avacyn's Pilgrim does not help your, like, 3rd color.
So what's there for? Just as a colorless ramper?
Because you need ramp.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it makes all those 4 drops into turn 3 plays.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
No?
Deck name by Calcano is
We
fantastic.
talked about his deck, but let's talk about Calcano's deck a little bit.
Can we talk about this? Because this is the kind of deck that I would want to play at these things. Now, I'm not really commenting on whether I think it's good or not because I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is my type of deck.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Like, multiple copies of cards that allow you to draw cards on your opponent's turn. Thought Scour, Desperate Ravings. He's got a couple Desolate Lighthouses. He's got the removal suite to help on any side of the board. He's got Rolling Timber and Bonfire of the Damned for the mass removal. Pillar of Flame, and well, I guess he's got Blasphemous Act, more mass removal.
Yep,
Pillar of
for
Flame
more.
to help slow things down. And then he's got the big control swingers like Tamio, Fettergeist. These guys that are going to like keep the board locked down. Snapcaster Mage is a lot of fun with the suite of cards that he's got in his deck. Force Thought Scours really helps power that out as well. Like, it looks very similar to some of the decks that we saw. They didn't do incredibly well in Barcelona.
All right, we're underway here.
But the format was a little bit faster there.
Looks like Lucas didn't have a turn 2 play because he played a turn 1 Evolving Wilds and just didn't bother to crack it. He played a Forest, and I'm assuming he's going to crack it now.
Yeah.
Probably going to get a Swamp. We have a turn 3 Fettergeist from Calcano. That's his only play, though. How many creatures is this deck even running? Like, just two different creatures?
Yeah, 3 Fettergeist, 2 Snapcaster Mage, and 1 Lone Revenant.
Yeah, so he's basically just trying, it ends up playing out very much like a control deck.
Yep.
Right? He's looking to keep the board clear of any creatures. The Fettergeist is going to act as a blocker, mainly, and then he's going to win by flashing back Devil's play by playing, singular threats like what he has right now.
Yeah, if Tamio ever gets to ultimate, which, I mean, if you have the control to keep her protected, every card in your deck is a kill card at some point. So, Calcano manages to make it to a third turn or his fourth turn, I should say, without Pastorini having a creature in play, but Calcano doesn't have a fourth land.
And he's going to attack. Now, Calcano is representing Dissipate here. And we're going to see if Lucas just plays right into it. It looks like a Hunt Master of the Fells, and it's going to get dissipated.
Yeah. I mean, that card is...
It feels like Aristocrat's really the thing that Calcano would like to dissipate. But right now, since the board is clear, the Aristocrat will die to things like even like a Pillar of Flame.
Yeah. That's very, very true.
And Calcano's going to keep the pressure on by getting in for 3. This game is so far shaping up exactly how Calcano probably wants it to.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what Calcano's sideboard plan was for this match. Knowing what he's going up against, let's see.
All right, another 4-drop is going to come down for Lucas Pastorini here. And it looks like it's Olivia Voldaren. He's contemplating, though. He might have another choice. He doesn't want to play. Oh! He's just going to play it. All right, so Olivia Voldaren, does this resolve?
No. Calcano doesn't have the 5th.
Calcano says yes. Okay. Yeah, you mean for Snapcaster?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just drew a Snapcaster, yeah. Lucas has a Evolving Wilds to follow up his play. I see a Tamio, though, in Calcano's hand, which, I don't think he's going to be able to play.
Unfortunately, at this point, no.
Okay, so we have an attack from the Fettergeist, and things are going to start getting ugly. Oh, we're going to Bonfire for 1, and then Pillar of Flame Olivia. That's nice. He gets to keep his Fettergeist and everything.
Yep.
Now, he did get 2 for 1, though. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucas untapped his permanence, but then said, actually, I think I'd rather do this. So I guess he was still in kind of mid-untap, and they let him go back, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, the game didn't really change from point A to point B.
No, but you got to be careful.
Yes.
High-level play here. This isn't the time to get sloppy.
No. In fact, we saw something like that happen in Grand Prix Malmo, which was very unfortunate.
Oh, is that right? I missed that one. Draw a card. It is not a miracle. You see a Kessig Wolf Run coming into play here for Lucas, and he is going to hit something big-ish. What is this?
5 mana.
It's not a Silver Heart.
Oh, no, this is Heretic's Punishment.
Heretic's Punishment. Sweet.
That is his sideboard against. He's got a pair of them in his sideboard.
That's one of my favorite cards for Limited.
Man, he's just... Between these guys, they are just playing cards that you love.
I am in heaven right now. You have no idea. Fettergeist. I love Fettergeist.
Last round, we got Silent Departure and Dungeon Geists.
We get a look at the new Christian Calcano GP champion.
Oh.
He looks the same.
Looks like he's got a bit more confidence.
And we have Tamio coming down on his side. Now, Tamio looks like it's just... What is he going to do? Do you think he's going to start ticking it up?
Oh, definitely.
So he's going to take Lucas off of his green source here. Set him back a mana. But realistically, Lucas can just start activating that thing. I mean, I bet it's going to hit for, just on a guess, average of 3 to 4 maybe. It's going to hit pretty big.
Yeah.
For those of you that aren't familiar with Heretic's Punishment, it costs 3 and a red to activate. You reveal the top 3 cards of your library, and you get to do damage to target creature or player equal to the converted mana cost of the highest one of those 3. Now, and then the rest, and then they all go into your graveyard. Now, one of the things about Heretic's Punishment, though, is that you need a target first.
Yes.
So, it gets a little weird because you don't know how much it's going to do before you do it.
Yeah, it looks like 3 is probably a pretty safe guess. Maybe just a little bit more than that. He's got Devil's Play and Bonfire the Damned to bring it down, Strangleroot Guys to bring it down, but he's got a lot of 4-drops in his deck.
He's milling 3 lands and 4-drop, and he did it, and he's... Okay, now it looks like he targeted after. Maybe he must have verbalized it, because he pointed to it after.
Yeah.
And you do have to choose first.
Be willing to bet he probably said it ahead of time.
Yeah, I think so too. So he got pretty good value there. He's now even on cards for his his investment.
Let's also not overlook the fact he is at 7 life right now. Calcano is playing a deck that has red X spells in it.
Yeah, that's a great point.
But at this point, I mean, 2 activations. If he gets lucky, he can just kill Calcano really shortly with that Blasphemous Act.
Instead, it looks like he's going to play a Borderland Ranger, which is going to get dissipated.
I like this play.
What's your reasoning there? Is it because of all the lands that Lucas has, and he can use that Kessig Wolf run to make even any creature pretty lethal here?
I think it's because Calcano realizes that he's actually on a short clock here. Well, considering Pastorini gets to continue playing lands, he needs to force Pastorini to aim at his creatures.
Did you see what Pastorini has in his hand?
What is it?
Zealous Conscripts.
Oh my.
So look at Tamiyo.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got a Tamiyo on the other side of the board. And if Tamiyo gets to ultimate range,
Yep.
Tamiyo can just be stolen away.
Calcano needs, any extra damage that Calcano can get him with his creatures means that he's that much closer to being able to just finish Pastorini.
Yeah, this is really fascinating. Because Pastorini has to now decide if he wants to start using activations of his Heretic's Punishment against Tamiyo.
Yes.
Or if he wants to go for the game plan of, I'm going to let you get there, and then I'm going to conscripts it, ultimate it. Has to get to 8, and then try to win through that, that mode of victory. Because he's got like a bonfire in his hand. It's only going to take a few turns of just bonfire to kill Calcano. But Calcano now has to decide how do I just keep leveling up? How quickly can I kill?
So here's a question for
All right,
you.
so the Black Mana Source
Might know
gets
better than I
tapped.
would.
Oh, he just let it happen?
Yeah.
Oh, he tapped it. Okay, he tapped it. He's going to target the Snapcaster Mage, and it looks like it's already taking at least 4.
Yep.
And it did.
Wow, that was
took three pretty nice cards off the top. What were you going to say, Nate?
So, with the redirection to Planeswalkers,
Yeah.
you target the player,
Yes.
and then you get to choose after the card is revealed, and you know how much damage it is, whether you want to redirect the
Yes.
Planeswalker.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, considering he's packing a few Blasphemous Acts.
Yeah,
So,
I think that is how it works.
Would you want to 9 damage your opponent, or
Huntmaster. Okay, so Huntmaster's kind of going to get dissipated anyway, but it's kind of a key here because Lucas is looking to pad his life total.
yes.
He knows, I think he's realized that Christian isn't looking to beat him down with creatures, but is instead... Okay, so Tamiyo goes to 8, and Christian just used a Dissipate. Are we going to see this happen? Or does he have a Snapcaster or another Dissipate in his hand?
Oh my.
Do it.
Oh my.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, he's doing it.
Oh my.
Does this resolve?
Could be interesting.
Target. Oh. No, we have a
there
Snapcaster.
it is.
So Christian was very aware of this. He wasn't about to let his Tamiyo get under siege. And it looks like Lucas was also anticipating this as he instantly finishes off the Snapcaster and redirects one of the damage to Tamiyo using a Bonfire of the Damned with the last of his mana. All right, so Christian is content to just keep something locked down, I guess a dual land in this case,
Yeah.
and pass the turn back. So now Christian is eminently threatening Tamiyo Ultimate, and we have Lucas top decking. Now Lucas is going to be able to knock Tamiyo right off her perch though here, using his Heretic's Punishment
Oh, Strangle Geist
and a
also.
Strangle Geist. With declare attacks hit Tamiyo. Yep. And he probably just Tamiyo's not really doing... I guess she could draw a card at this point. Like, the writing's kind of on the wall for Tamiyo, I think. Right now, Lucas has 2 activations available on Heretic's Punishment.
Yeah.
Maybe you just cash her in at this point for a card. He can target Lucas and draw cards equal to the number of creatures. No, he's just going to pillar, it looks like. Oh, he's going to pillar Lucas.
Yeah. For every... if Tamiyo lives to next turn, like...
All right, so we have an activation. Do it to you.
Yeah.
I didn't see how much it was for.
3.
It was for 3. Okay.
For every activation that Pastorini would aim at Tamiyo, it's 1 less activation he's aiming at Calcano.
Sure.
So,
And there is a limited amount that he can do, but you'll figure that he'll be able to be lethal
soon.
by that time.
Yeah. So
All right, so 1 activation.
I would say that this next turn is definitely...
Nope, not an activation. Okay, so Tamiyo's locking down The Strangerootgeist.
Nothing.
The Strangerootgeist just got sacrificed to the Falconwrath Aristocrat. Now, since it has haste, he can attack with both. They both have haste, and they're just going to take out. All right, so now the game plan is Heretic's Punishment to Christian Calcano
Yes.
directly.
Calcano makes his decision as to what he's going to do.
Wow. The momentum has swung towards Lucas pretty sharply here.
7 power of hasted attacker will do that.
And double activations on a Heretic's Punishment as
Yeah.
well.
So
This is the
5
best.
mana.
It's like limited.
Is this Cameo, trade her in for some cards?
Or just
Tap
stick her
down.
out there and have her soak up some damage and activations.
Yeah, you could tap down the Aristocrat
Yeah.
and eat 3 damage, drop her down to 2. And doing that still allows him to potentially draw cards on the following turn. Now he's just going to go for it now, it looks like. Yeah, so I think like if he goes ahead and taps down the Aristocrat and lets Pastorini waste his entire turn, I mean that's what he's weighing, is that versus the 2 cards right now. He's trying to set himself up for effectively a win on his next turn. He just needs to survive through this turn, and then hopefully he can kill Pastorini after untapping. That's what he's looking to do.
Silent Departure or something.
Oh, wow.
I mean, when both of your guys have haste, does it do? I mean, it's just making him use more mana, basically.
It's all it is. I mean, that's important, though.
Is it?
In this, yeah.
Like it might be an extra draw step for Calcano?
Yeah, that's all he's looking for.
Yeah, fair enough.
Only gets hit for 1 there. That's the problem. Like, with all those Avacyn's Pilgrims and multiple X-Spells he's got, like, he's gonna hit 1. Like,
It is a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm saying he's gonna hit 1 casting cost cards for that.
Oh, you're talking about on the Heretic's Punishment. I
Punishment,
understand, yep. So now we've got a race. This is kind of interesting. Declare attacks.
Getcha. So,
I'm assuming that the Aristocrat win it the face here, so it'll bring Christian to 12.
yeah, that's correct.
Okay. We're getting there.
Moment of truth.
I mean, so let's say that Lucas hits a 3 off of this next activation. That'd bring Christian down to 9, and then he would take 4, 5, 6, 7, and then he's surely dead after that. So yeah, this is it. He needs to draw one of his X spells.
He's got 3 Bonfire of the Damned, 2 Devil's Play, 1 Bonfire. I guess 1 Bonfire of the Damned is gone, so 2 and 2. And then his sideboard.
And here's his draw step. Looks like. So does he have enough mana to flashback Desperate Ravings and still kill his opponent?
I don't know.
I mean, even if he drew something like a Pillar of Flame, you know, he could take out the Aristocrat, make him sack the other guy, and put it so that he the activations from Heretic's Punish might not be enough.
Yeah.
The way the board sits right now, he's got two activations to hit like a 2-drop or something, so it's not hard at all. Okay, we have a Bonfire.
Bonfire for 1.
What is happening here? Why would you do it? Okay, so he does it for 1 just to take out the Strangerootgeist.
Because he's got to sacrifice it to his Falconwrath Aristocrat in order to keep the Aristocrat alive.
Sure, and he's going to lock down the Aristocrat with Tameo, but is this a plan that's going to get him there in the long run? Because that Heretic's Punishment is just going to take over. Oh, there's a 5 right there, so he can just kill Tameo. There goes the Devil's Play as well. And there's 1 land off camera. I can't see if it's red, but I think he has another
red in play.
I think he does,
okay,
and he just counts it up.
Lucas Pastorini will take it over Grand Prix champion.
He gives a little fist pump there. Hey, when you beat a Grand Prix champion, you're happy.
Yeah, and especially in a close